Welcome back to the channel, guys and girls. This is another wrestling news episode. I'm not gonna give you a number because that doesn't really matter. If it's episode, it's an episode. Today I'm just doing this coverage of the Rush and Dragon Lee fired from CMLL and the backlash from that. WWE is banning Chris Benoit only men the Sun from, I guess, shows that they're doing, and why All Elite Wrestling isn't that interesting in the long run. The first topic I'm doing is the coverage of CMLL firing both brothers, Rush and Dragon Lee, from the company. I guess it started back when Rush no-showed a CMLL event for Ring of Honor event earlier this year, and from that I think there was some kind of tension going on because he was doing. Because after a while, you can see him start doing mostly Ring of Honor events more than like CMLL events. So that was like red herring right there. And even through the grapevines, you can see he became independent after that little issue, and now he's independent while working for Ring of Honor and holding their championship after he beat Matt Taven. Dragon Lee, he was so I'm gonna say Dragon Lee too because his other brother's Mystical. He was blindsided because he wanted to stay with CMLL, and upon their termination, they do not own the name Rush or Dragon Lee anymore, which means they have to create their own new names, which Rush already did. I believe is El Toro Blanco, or the White Bull. His father's former wrestling name, I guess, which if you watch Rush and CMLL, he's usually flanked by his son and his father. So that's a company site right there, which is something I really love to see in wrestling nowadays, because you don't see that much in wrestling. Dragon Lee, he was mostly in Ring of Honor and New Japan, so if he was wrestling CMLL, that was kind of like rare, because due to the schedule he was doing with the other two companies, as I mentioned. I think this is a major plus for both men, because both can pretty much just work for Ring of Honor and I guess New Japan or whatever the case may be, making money there. Then they can probably sign with AAA if possible. If not, do what you gotta do. Make the money best you can. For me, realistically, I'd like to see them work with AAA, but that would be some kind of conflict, because with them working for AAA, they work for Ring of Honor, and Impact is working with AAA. So if AAA wanted to have Rush work with Impact, which I don't see that ever happening, it'd be kind of conflict of interest, because Impact and Ring of Honor, I don't think they're on good terms right now. But if they are, that'd be a perfect three-way partnership right there, because they did the same thing with Cody, who's not even talented as close to Rush. I do believe it's just, when you wrestle in Mexico, it's just two big promotions, and each one has their own little con to it. I have a friend named Beowulf, Luchador Beowulf, Irishman who wears a mask, and he's doing his thing down there. He's telling me that both companies are kind of devilish in their approach, because one company you need to have connections to get into, and even then it's still hard to get you even on the show unless they put you on like the Twitch show. And the other company, they own your character, they own the gimmick, stuff like that, which you can guess would be like CMLL, but AAA can do the same thing too, like to Pentagon and the rest of them. And it's like a mixed bag, so you can't win for lose with either company. I wish both men luck. I think Dragon Lee was holding a CMLL championship, I'm not sure, but I can see both men rebounding probably in the next few months, if not the next year, in another big promotion. Continue their family legacy and just continue working hard and whatnot. But from that topic, I want to get into the WWE banning Chris Benoit's only son from doing the shows. There was a report like during over the summer actually, that WWE is banning Chris Benoit's son because he doesn't want to give up his last name, despite having a developmental contract with them, and they didn't want him out there due to his last name. Which, if you look at all the facts and stuff, WWE is only shooting himself in the foot, because Chris Benoit was pretty much the company guy. He did everything by the book. He enforced the locker room etiquette and stuff like that, and he was put his body on the line every night. Whether it was like doing suicide dives out through the ropes, whatever thing, and sometimes he hit with a chair or he hit something that rattled his brain. I remember, I think it was Chris Jericho, Chris Benoit versus Asian Christian. I remember this perfectly. Asian Christian did a concerto to Chris Benoit's ribs, and I think that was real. I'm not sure, but he sold the pain, and that goes along with all the other times, like before this new protocol, where they will push the wrestlers out there and they're hurt, and you can see them stitched up, bandaged up, and everything. And as a young fan, it's like at a certain point you start to think, are these guys really injured? Because they're taped up and you can see them limping and stuff. And it's like, WWE need to take some responsibility for pushing wrestlers out there to work injured and messing up their brains, messing up their bodies. Because you see in football now, there are football players who are leaving the sport, leaving the league, whatever you want to call it, around 30 years old. There's some that left it like at 25, 27, 29, 30, sometimes 33, because they don't want that prolonged injury. They don't want to leave the game limping. They don't want to leave the game in pain. They want to leave it like Deacon Jones, leave on top and not need to be carted off because of injuries. I wouldn't be surprised if you start seeing wrestlers and promotions, like, instead of going out being flashy, they're investing the money, they're saving the money, they're starting schools, like a handful of wrestlers are doing, starting schools and taking less booking and putting more time into their own promotions. Like Tommy Dreamer, he started his own company, House of Hardcore, and he's pretty much doing his booking and stuff like that when he's not working with Impact, which I think he's like a own wrestler and a producer at some point. Amazing Red, who used to work for Impact, he has his own promotion, House of Glory, which from last I remember, he was like a tag team champion with Crimson, but I'm pretty sure they both fly to the titles. But he's a guy who put his body on the line, not as much as all the other wrestlers, but enough to have some injuries, some eggs and stuff like that. But I'm happy to see that he's able to walk around without having a cane or needing the major surgeries. Like Chris Benoit, when he died, they scanned his brain. He had like the brain of an 80-year-old, and that's due to all the chair shots, to all the insane matches and stuff that the WWE themselves put him through. And for them to try to erase him, like they didn't have any part in his demise, is kind of stupid. And the fact he took those steroids are one of the reasons why he did what he did, because I guess taking those things would cause you to have roid rage, like some of these news people are claiming, and he just lost his mind. Which, if there's like lots of guys who taking steroids and they would have like the same mindset or whatever, I'm pretty sure they would die too. But like in MMA, UFC and all that, if they taking steroids, guess what? They're training like 6 months in advance of their fight. So in that time, if they have like a little spike in anger or whatever, it's not gonna hurt anybody like in the octagon, whatever, but it could hurt people in the immediate area and have the police come in and put them down, so to speak, if they're like going crazy, instead of like doing on national TV and causing a major issue. But to me, if Chris Benoit's son wanted to keep his family name alive, let him do it. Let him do it on Independence. Let him do it with Impact. Let him do it wherever he wants to. Do not try to shame this young man because he wants to carry on his family tradition. That's like WWE's trying to do all these other things to change stuff, but people remember. Internet, don't forget. All the information WWE used to try to hide, you can find easily on the internet now. So get used to WWE. It's not the olden days where you can pull these Pat Patterson down to Brazil to win the Intercontinental Championship. You can't do that no more. People are too smart for this. But this is my last segment I'm going into. AEW just had their Wednesday Night Dynamite show, whatever. In Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Maryland, whichever the two is. And from what I saw, it's like over 1 million viewers watching, whatever, on I think TNT. Whereas like WWE NXT had like 848,000 people watching, and people are saying, "Oh, that's a big gap," blah blah blah. But NXT won that key demographic. I think like 64%, probably. Don't quote me on that. It's somewhere in that area. Whereas AEW had to like less than 30%, somewhere in that area. For the beginning, it's like with all shows that premiere with all the hype behind it, it's gonna draw that big number. But the thing is, you have to live up to the expectation every single week, and you cannot use the same cliches that they was doing. John Moxley DDT King Omega through a coffee table. Okay, that was sugar glass. You're not gonna put somebody through real glass like that and not end up injured. They said that wrestlers under AEW have health insurance. How much is that gonna cover, like eye, teeth, and all that? Cause another big breaker, she's a licensed dentist, but she doesn't need their insurance. She got her own insurance. But there's wrestlers on there like B. Beasley, who works for Stardom in them. How's that gonna play out? Because she's working in 2 companies, and you cannot pull her from her obligations in Stardom just to work for your company, which is one of the reasons why I don't like AEW, because they try to like all these wrestlers just wrestle for them. And for me, there's plenty of promotions where wrestlers can wrestle 3, 4, 5 promotions at once. There was a time when Ultimate Dragon had like 10, maybe 11 championships. That's the type of wrestling I like. That's the type of market that I like. I like seeing wrestlers holding all these titles and wrestling for whatever national TV wrestling promotion, holding all these titles, because it shows this person is a real deal. You have these wrestlers just sign and only working for AEW, and they come to the rings like, man, these guys could be champions somewhere else, but they gotta wrestle under Cody, who's gonna pretty much reduce any chance for any of these guys holding championships for a long amount of time. Like Brian Cage, if he signed with AEW, which he's not because he's with Impact, he would have to give up all the championships he won on the Indies. Just chase one title. I don't like that. I'm glad he's holding 2 or 3 championships. I think it's only 2 right now because Wrestle Circus went out of business earlier this year. I think it was like a day before or day after my birthday this year that they went out of business. But yeah, he pretty much got officially 3 titles, but 2 are active. I like seeing wrestlers hold more than 1 title because it makes them credible. If you just have guys chasing each a title in their respective class and they're not getting a long run with it, it's like they're playing hot potato. The same thing King Omega was yamming about when he was in New Japan. He was like, guys are not trying to get the brass ring. They're not trying to win this championship. They know, oh, these titles can be handed to them, and they can just carry on like it's hot potato. Oh, it's my turn to hold this belt. Blah blah blah. Whereas like in Mexico, sometimes you gotta be really stiff to hold your own. And like in USA, there's plenty of promotions out there that you can find yourself wrestling for and holding a title for a very long time, like for years or not. Like Sammy Callahan, and I think he was holding the AEW championship for a long time. But back to the AEW thing, I don't think that the interest is going to be there for a long run because most of the people who watch them are casuals, and other people than that are like shields, stands, whatever you want to call them, who will go on to other promotions, social media, and spam them or spam the wrestlers. Oh, you need to come to AEW, blah, 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 blah. And to me, that's not going to last because if you, I don't know how much, I think like $1 billion or whatever the Khan family has. If you're doing a high quality product and you're getting all these wrestlers health care, sooner or later you're going to have to set a limit to your roster. Otherwise, you're going to be bleeding money. Because now you got to worry about the wages. You got to pay the staff, the production team. Then you got to worry about insurance. Then you got to do booking. Then you got to do all these other things to consider a deal. Stuff like that. Granted, they did acquire Kevin Sullivan, a producer, not the wrestler, from Impact Wrestling and his team. But from what I heard, Impact is working with the people who work with WOW, who also air on Access TV. So if Anthem is smart enough, they would take the production team that's helping WOW, relocate them, their main headquarters to Toronto, or I think it's Montreal, wherever Anthem is located, and have like a branch in LA and a branch in like New York or wherever to be closer to where the action is. For me, it would make more sense for Impact to have their show based in Chicago, not Orlando or like in Canada, because there's a hotbed. That's like in central the United States, as much as you can get there. Because I know somewhere in Missouri that's the center of the United States, but Chicago is the center of wrestling, whatever. And that's like an easy drive or commute for people to fly in and stuff, and have the show there instead of just going all over, because that's going to cost you more money. But if they want to travel, let them travel, but that in the long run, that's not going to help them either. In the long run, I don't think AEW is going to be as high of a product where you see the same type of actions, same type of stunts and stuff in other promotions doing the same thing. It's just plug in star wrestler here, star wrestler there. That's the only difference. If Impact wanted to do the same thing as AEW, believe me, Impact would be a lot better than what it is. There was a few times where people was bringing up when they talk about AEW how TNA once had what was it, Main Event Mafia or something, where TNA had like an all-out brawl with the whole locker room fighting and stuff. Something like that you can remember for a long time, because I remember watching that when it was airing live. I went back to watch it over with like Chris Sabin, Christopher Daniels, Team 3D, Kevin Nash, all of those guys was in there, and that's memorable. you're not gonna see the same type of things with All Elite Wrestling, because they're gonna try to get away from the Attitude Era stuff, but they're still doing the same Attitude Era stuff. But you can call a spade a spade. They can, as much as they want to get away from the Attitude Era stuff, they can continue doing it, because back in NWA days, you didn't have guys wrestling through the crowds as much. You didn't have them doing things that you see All Elite Wrestling is doing. That was mostly Attitude Era stuff. So as much as Cody want to get away from that, he's still doing it. If he wanted to get away from Attitude Era, have Dustin change his character to something else instead of just changing his outfit from gold to black and red. But it is what it is. The only good thing I like to see about that is Brie Priestley, Sadie Gibbs, and Tony Schiavone actually getting the respect that they need to get and getting the spotlight back on them. Pac, I'm not gonna say Pac because that's stupid. I'm calling him Pac. I see him being the typical winner that he is, and Eric Anderson, I don't see being like the big thing in a decade afterwards. So it is what it is. Well, everybody's claiming about All Elite Wrestling. I'm going back to what I watch, and that's like Impact and New Japan, and then soon Then I'm gonna watch Major League Wrestling, who they recently signed one of my favorite wrestlers, who I watch, Zeta Zing. I believe she's, I'm gonna say Chinese, I'm gonna say Japanese, but I'm just say one of my favorite Asian female wrestlers out there, behind Hanada, behind Kana, not Asuka, Kana, and Konami, who is the protege of Kana. So I'm kind of looking at that and see what goes on after that. But it is what it is. All Elite Wrestling is just a fad, just a trend that people are going to be watching. Then it's going to run its course, and when they do, it's over with. But yeah, I rambled on enough in this video. If you enjoy, thank you. It's going to be out at least, I think, Monday, maybe Tuesday, because Monday, Tuesday, or Friday I'll use my upload dates, because I got other things I gotta do. So when you watch this, please leave a like, subscribe, share this, post it on social media, wherever you watch on social media. Interact with me. I got both of my Twitter handles in the picture. And just remember, just stay out of the blast radius. You might just get burned.